Just a reminder to vote in this week's Locals poll, where you decide what deck I take to Locals every single week. Without any further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another deck profile. So, this past week we took Gouki to Locals, and we got second place. So yeah, we're bringing the deck profile, and then we're going to have one of the retroactive ones for next week. I believe it's Dragoonity that's going to be coming up. And yeah, so here's what the deck looks like on paper, and then we'll get started. Alright, starting with some of our more high-level monsters, we're running 2 Gouki Bear Hug and 1 Moonsault for level 6s. So, Bear Hug, when it's summoned by the effect of a Gouki card or normal summon, it cuts an opponent's monster's attack in half. And then Moonsault allows us to recycle a Link monster and get a Gouki monster from our graveyard back to our hand. So, just making it easier to OTK, get over stuff, and then recycling some of our resources. Next, we have 2 Rhyscorpio and 2 Tag Partner. So, Rhyscorpio is just another body, so we can get more searches. And then, if it really comes down to it, we can just normal summon it as a 2300 beat stick. Tag Partner, when used as link material, gives the summoned monster an extra 1000 attack, just helping to facilitate OTKs even easier. And then next, we have the main man, Gouki Super X. Alright, so this is the card you want to see as soon as possible. When normal summon, special summon a Gouki from your hand, this is the main starter you want to have. Also running 3 Twist Cobra, so we can try to see this as much as possible. Just to, again, just trying to facilitate an OTK, because it can tribute itself to add its attack to another Gouki monster, or you can tribute a different Gouki, depending on what's on your field. So again, just trying to get OTKs as quickly as possible. Triple Headbat. This is an extender that can also boost attack, and if it really comes down to it, you can normal summon any other Gouki and then use Headbat to get your Link 2. So again, just kind of a flexible option there that can also help OTKs. 1 Iron Claw, and I'm only running 1 because you don't really want to summon this. You just want to search it out, so that way when your Gouki battles, you can send it from your hand to the graveyard, give your Gouki an extra 500 attack points, and make it unaffected by your opponent's card effects. 2 Gouki Guts. It's another name that we can use for searches. You can increase the attack of all your Goukis by 200 every single turn. Kind of a negligible amount, but it can help trigger Giant Ogre's effect. And when it's in defense position, it can't be destroyed by battle. So, I'm sure that would come up at some point. 2 Octo Stretch to have battle damage, and again, it's another Gouki name that we can search. And then 2 Ring Trainer for recovery plays. So if you control no monsters, you can reveal this card in your hand, special summon it, and a Gouki Link from your graveyard. So this is good for getting back into the game, especially, like, say, if your Giant Ogre gets Kaiju'd or something like that. It's a good way to just kind of get back into the game. Moving on to the spells. The main spell that you want to be searching out is, of course, Gouki Rematch, which will let you go from a Link 2 to a Link 4 or a Link 3, depending on what's on your opponent's field, and yada yada yada. Best card in the deck. Next, we are running 2 Gouki Finishing Move. Again, this is just to facilitate OTKs. It also gives it Piercing and 1000 attack times its Link rating. Really good card there. I'm running 2 Gouki Face Turn. So that way, if there's a Gouki I want in the graveyard, like say I have a Twist Cobra in grave and I want it on the field, I can destroy whatever else is on my field, special summon the Twist Cobra. That's what I used it for in the final round of Locals against Dragon Link. So, yeah, it's just a nice little card to have there. You can also use a special summon a Link monster from your grave if need be. Moving on to the more generic spells now. I've got 1 for 1, Rhoda, Monster Reborn, and a copy of Twin Twisters. So 1-for-1, it can help you special guts from the deck, so that way you can, extend, or can even serve as ash bait. Rhoda, searching Super X out. Monster Reborn, just for extending. I am running the 1 Twin Twisters because I am very wary of things such as Bottomless Trap Hole and Solemn Judgment, things like that. Basically, things that would stop the normal summon of Super X. That's what Twin Twisters is for. In addition to that, I am also running 3 copies of... Sorry if I don't drop it here. The Warrior Returning Alive. This way we can add, Super X's back to our hand. This is the main thing we're going to use it for. We can also add back things like Octo Stretch or Headbat if we want to, but it's mainly for Super X because, he's the main boy. Next, 3 Jar of Avarice, because of all the searching and the special summoning. This deck burns the resources really, really quickly. So this allows us to shuffle back any 5 cards back into our deck and draw a card. So this way we can get things back like Rematch or Finishing Move, Suprexes, things like that. We can even recycle things like Rhoda and Monster Reborn with this. So just a thing to kind of have in case the game turns grindy. Of course, with Gouki, you don't want it to be a grindy game, but that can happen. So, next, moving on to the extra deck, I'm running 1 Gouki Heal Ogre. So, this is basically just something I can use if my opponent has, say, an Appaloosa on the board. I can link it to the Appaloosa. Then, say, normal summon Super X. When they go to negate the Appaloosa, I can negate that and special summon a Gouki from my grave. Just a little conditional out there for something that's problematic. So I am running Jet Ogre, but you only see 1 copy here, but in reality I want to run 3. But me, in my infinite wisdom, sorry, my dog is taking a nap right under my lap and she adjusted, but me, in my infinite wisdom, misclicked when I ordered the cards, so I only have 1 copy when I need 3. So I'm actually missing 2 copies. So yeah, I got 2nd place at locals with 1 Jet Ogre in the extra deck. That was very comical. But yeah, run 3 Jet Ogre, okay? This guy, run him at 3, okay? Run him at 3. Because when he's used for link material, he gives the summoned Gouki an extra 500 attack, which is really, really good for OTKs. We are running 1 Thunder Ogre for extra normal summons. I didn't summon this one at locals. I didn't need to, but it's there if we need it as an option. Next, for some of our more auxiliary Goukis, we have Blade and Solid Ogre. Blade can be a really good OTK machine depending on where your opponent places their monsters, because he can actually tribute the monster your opponent controls that he points to. Solid Ogre, I like to summon this one going first, because as long as it points to a Gouki, he can't be destroyed. That never really came up, but it's there if we need it. Next, we are running the one and the only Gouki the Great Ogre. I used this in the casual duel against Spriggans after the tournament ended because we didn't duel each other that day. And he was like, hey man, you want to duel? I was like, sure. And I ended the game with a 6,900 attack Great Ogre, so that was nice. We are running the one Gouki Destroy Ogre, basically just for another name. I've never used this one in real life. I used it once online. I think it was actually the last Gouki duel video I did against Danger Dark World. And I summoned this one on purpose just so that way I could say that I used it once. It's not very good, but yeah, it's there. Gouki the Master Ogre. This one can attack your opponent's monsters multiple times. And this one, and again, the whole point of this deck is to OTK, so depending on what your opponent has on the board, you know, sometimes Master Ogre may be a better option, sometimes a different one will be better. So, multiple attacks, it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Only stipulation with that is that it has to attack the one with the highest attack value. And it does have a negate, where you return Gouki's it points to back to your hand, but that's not really going to come up very much. Power Load Ogre, he's unaffected by everything, and he can tribute another Link monster to destroy stuff equal to the Link rating. And the one that I summoned the most throughout the night is Gouki the Giant Ogre. This is probably the best Gouki Link 4, I would say. And basically it can't be destroyed by battle, and it's unaffected by the effects of monsters that have a lower attack point value than he does, and he can boost his own attack when his attack gets boosted by another effect, so say Headbat or Guts, or when summoned with Jet Ogre, which is why you run 3 Jet Ogre. So he'll automatically be, like say with Jet Ogre, he'll automatically be at 3,500. His own effect boosts him up to 4,500, and boom, he's unaffected by everything that's 4,500 or below. So yeah, that's it for the profile. We'll shuffle up real quick, and then we'll get to the test hands. Okay, let's see what we got. Starting off with Warrior Returning Alive. Rhoda, that's really nice to see. Finishing Move. Ring Trainer. And Guts. Okay. Now, with this deck, because, you know, we want the OTK, we typically want to go second, so we'll emulate a going second hand, so what we draw for turn... Okay, so we got a Headbat. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so what we would do from here is, again, of course, assuming we're going second, is we would start off with, of course, activating Rhoda, because we want to search the best boy, Suprex. So we're going to go dig in for Suprex here. There he is. All right, and then we would proceed to normal summon the Suprex. Activate his effect to special summon Guts from the hand. Okay. We would instantly link these two off for Gouki Jet Ogre. Alright, now, each of the Goukis, or most of the Goukis, all except 3 Goukis, have the effect of when they leave the field, they get you a search for a Gouki card that, say, for example, Suprex cannot search Suprex. So he can search any Gouki card except for another copy of Suprex. They all have that, so we get 2 Gouki searches. Now, usually you're going to want to search for Rematch and Finishing Move. Since we already have Finishing Move, though, what we're going to do is we're actually going to search for Twist Cobra and a Rematch. If I can find a Rematch in the deck. There you go. Okay. So we're going to search Rematch and Twist Cobra. And the reason we're searching Twist Cobra is because we're actually about to send it to the graveyard. Alright, so what we're going to do then is we're going to activate Headbat. So what we'll do is we send the Twist Cobra from our hand to the grave, summon the Headbat, and we boost up the Jet Ogre by 800 attack, but that's not going to matter, because what's going to end up happening is we're going to activate Rematch, all right, and the Goukis summoned have to have different levels. So what we're going to do is we're going to summon back the Twist Cobra and Guts, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to link for 4, because again, we're assuming we're going second here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, Giant Ogre. So, the Headbat and the Jet Ogre have effects that can trigger here. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate Headbat, Chain Link 1, and then Jet Ogre, Chain Link 2. That way we can chain block something like an Ash. So that way we can get that additional search. We're going to go ahead and search for a Ring Trainer here. Just in case for some reason we're not able to OTK and he has something like a Kaiju, because one needs to be aware of things like that. So we went ahead and searched a Ring Trainer. So what we're going to do now is the Giant Ogre is at 3,500 attack because of Jet Ogre. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and activate his own effect. Since his attack is different than his original attack, he gains an additional 1,000, bringing him up to 4,500. All right, then we're going to activate Gouki finishing move, targeting Giant Ogre. Since he's a Link 4, he gains 4,000 attack and can now do piercing, bringing him up to 8,500. All right, and at that point, we would go to battle. And we don't have to be afraid of Nibiru either, because he's unaffected by Nibiru. So if your opponent holds a Nibiru until you get Giant Ogre, you basically win. So we would go to battle, attack, and then during damage calc, activate Twist Cobra, tribute itself. We would add the 1,600 to the Jet Ogre, bringing it up to 85 plus 16. So yeah, that'd be 10,100 attack. And we'd also get a search off of the Twist Cobra. So let's just go ahead and search another Super X, because why not? So yeah, that would most likely be game. So we'll do one more, and then yeah, that'll be it for the video. So we'll do one more test hand. All right, here we go. Let's see what we get. All right, rematch. Octo Stretch, Headbat, Ring Trainer, and Ray Scorpio. Okay, so definitely not as good as our other hand, but since, again, we're emulating going second, dang, we got another Ring Trainer. Okay, yeah, that's definitely not what we wanted to see, but we can still work with this. It's okay. So what we would do in this case is we would, because we have no monsters, we'd normal summon Rice Scorpio. Then we would activate Headbat. We'd go ahead and pitch one of our Ring Trainers because we don't really need it. We only need one in our hand at a time. And we'd summon the Headbat. And again, we'd link these two off. For Jet Ogre, we'd get 2 searches. Alright, since we opened a rematch, we're going to search for our finishing move. If I can find it right. There it is, finishing move. And we'll go ahead and see what else is in our hand. Sure, we'll search for a Super X. Why not? We'll go for a flashy play this time. We'll go for something a little different. So what we'll do now is we'll go and activate the rematch. We'll summon back the Headbat and the Rice Scorpio. We'll link for 3 for Thunder Ogre. Then, what we'll do is, because Thunder Ogre gives us an extra normal summon next to its link, we'll go ahead and normal summon the Super X. Special Octo Stretch from our hand. Now again, we're going for a spicy play here, okay? We're going for a really spicy play. So what we're going to do is we're going to summon. We'll link for 4, so we'll go Thunder and Octo for Master Ogre, actually. Okay, so we'll have Master Ogre there. Actually, let me kind of move this more towards the middle. That way it's a little easier to see. There we go. Okay, so then what we could do is we could use Master Ogre to bounce these 2 back to hand. And then, let's see, I believe it targets. Yeah, target the same number of face-up cards your opponent controls, and their effects are negated till the end phase. So we get 2 negates on that. Boom. Alright, so now he is 6,800, because he's a Link 4, 6,800. And can attack multiple times, so boom, 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 boom. You know, however many monsters they have. Then we're ending with a Super X and a Headbat in hand. and then also a ring trainer. So if he does happen to out this thing, we can just, reveal ring trainer, then summon back one of the links, and just keep link climbing. So, yeah, that's it for the deck. Again, just very simple. It's just, an OTK style deck. It's nothing really fancy, but it's efficient. It works fairly well. And yeah, I mean, we got second place with it at locals, so, make sure that you vote in the locals poll to determine what we take for next week, because you guys did a really good job on this one. We got second place with Gouki. So, yeah, so be sure to vote, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and see you next time.